Alrighty, I am back. They have not started yet. Trigger versus Solar is going to be the final best of 3 of this day of Masters Coliseum. Pretty fun day, couple of 2-0s, just like yesterday. Does mean that the next one must be a 2-1, right guys? Shout out to Hot Willy Pepper for gifting us up to Bio Trash. How do you have no gray hair? I'm 28 and I got way more grays. I'm 28 too, mate. It is time. What are my NFL teams? I mostly like the Falcons, mate, but the Falcons suck. They always lose early. Poor Trigger, by the way, has to play these games so early. Obviously, Trigger is in Canada. He is not really in Toronto, but I believe close to Toronto. So when it's 2 p.m. for me, it is 8 a.m. for him. Since the Falcons are out, I think I'll be rooting for the Ravens and the Chiefs. I kind of like Mahomes. I think he's cool. But the Ravens have just been excellent, so I'm rooting for the Ravens and the Chiefs from here on out. I don't really have a Premier League team. I have no loyalty to English teams. I like Watford. I'm mostly rooting for Watford and Aston Villa. Watford, second division, obviously. Aston Villa in the Premier League. When it comes to the top teams, I don't really care. I just kind of cheer for whatever team plays fun football and scores a lot of goals. My only real loyalty is with Feyenoord. And to some degree, Borussia Dortmund. Solar lost his opening series of the tournament against the Protoss. I'm sure that Trigger has gone over those games. That Protoss was classic. Classic played well. Trigger lost his opening series of the tournament against Cure. I like the Falcons, yes. The TLDR of why I like the Falcons is that I moved to America in 2012 and everybody was watching American football. I wasn't very big into it back then. Every single weekend, people got excited over football, but LA had no team, so there wasn't such a thing as support your locals. But I worked together with Mr. Bidder, and Mr. Bidder is from Gainesville, Georgia, so I was like, alright, I'll pick the Falcons then. And that is the main reason why I started following the Falcons. I had a couple good years back then, with obviously that notorious Super Bowl. Top left side, guys, it is the main base of Basilisk Trigger, a Canadian Protoss player, a teammate of mine. In the bottom right side, the Korean Zerg that everybody loves, because he's always been the guy that built that bridge between the Korean scene and the foreign scene. Onsyde Gaming Solar. Yeah, same Faisal. In a weird way, I'm kind of sad about it. I was excited to have another Europa League battle with a Mourinho team, especially because we have never defeated Mourinho, but I felt pretty good about it, even though we had a terrible game last weekend against NAC, but I was excited for Feyenoord Roma with Mourinho. Kinda sad to see that he's gone. I feel like we're gonna beat Roma as well, so a little bit sad. Hey Roddy, maybe you've talked about it, but why is MaxPax not participating in more offline events? Well, you can replace more with any. I don't really know a lot more than you guys do. Clearly, he does not want to share it, otherwise it would be public knowledge. I am not going to be that guy that DMs him and be like, hey man, do you want to tell me at least? I promise I can keep a secret. So, I don't know. I hope that one day there will be clarity about it. It's a shame that he's not, because he's so damn good. But I don't know anything that you guys don't know. Hello, Demo. Good morning, matey. Where are the elephants, Ben? We're not streaming today, mate. Are you slacking? I'm so proud of you. You were so consistent lately. Why is my boy Benny? Well, we were just talking about you, by the way, Ben. They were asking if I ever got in trouble in Krefeld. I said, no, I didn't, but my boy Ben did. I didn't give them the details though, Ben. Don't worry. Mhm. Last MaxPax interview, we learned that he played Dark Souls, but thought it was too easy. We also learned that he has a dog and that he complains about Terran to his father. Trigger is going to open up very similar to the way that we saw MaxPax open up earlier. It is adapts into oracles. Will it be double oracle? Will it be triple oracle? That I don't know. He indeed complains to the king. Trigger is going to go with a Void Ray, actually. Alright. Void Ray is obviously not something that we never see, but I would still say it's not that common. Does Solar have 0 Overlords on this side of the map, by the way? That's a bit surprising. So we have a little Zergling just run into the main base of Trigger. Trigger is going to surround it with his probes, and he drops a very quick Twilight Council. So this could be one Void Ray, one Oracle into mass Adept with Glaives. Cool. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. Very important, obviously, that he does not let any more Lings run into the main. The first Ling was not a big deal. But if we drop such a quick Twilight Council behind it, it is important that we are hiding what we are doing here. Yes, there is a delay. The stream that I am watching basically has a 2-minute delay. So I am live for you guys. Whenever you guys ask me something, I can respond immediately. We are watching the same stream. But the players are 2 minutes into the future. Solar is not totally certain what is happening. He is dropping a single spore so far. We have not seen a Baneling Nest yet. We have not seen a Roach Warren yet. I obviously do expect him to drop a Roach Warren in the near future. Especially when he doesn't see any oracles. Yeah, there it goes. Just makes sense. Solar wasn't born last night. The spidey senses are tingling here a little. Void Ray takes out a single Zergling. These adapts, if they are tucked away safely, they should be fine. If they get surrounded, they could be in a little bit of trouble, and they are going to get surrounded. 2 adapts, a probe, and a void will put up a bit of a fight. Losing 2 adapts, though, guys, when you're trying to go for resonating glaives is not great, because these are adapts that ideally you want to have with your main army. Trigger already has a whole bunch of adapts built up. He is hoping that Solar is going to overdrone heavily, and Solar is definitely overdroning a little. Solar is going to stop droning right now once he sees all of these adapts straight to his side of the map. So he's going to queue up 5 roaches, make it 7. I don't know if it's going to be good enough for Trigger, but let's see. I'm afraid he's going to show up right when the roaches are out, and then it comes down to perfect adapt movement. Losing those 2 adapts obviously does not help. That makes your adapt numbers a little bit lower. That is a bad wall-off. Yeah, you have roaches here, you have queens. Trigger will kill drones. The only question is how many is he going to kill? So far it's 4. Obviously we need a little more. There are Lings, by the way, attacking the probes on the other side of the map. He leaves 2 adapts behind in the natural. He's going to kill probably like 9 or so. That is my call. You're looking at 8 at the moment. It is just 8. Not great, not terrible. Void Ray shows up and activates Prismatic Alignment, starts working on an Overlord, but the Overlord gets a double transfuse, so the OV will stay safe. Trigger does have a 9 worker lead. That's obviously kind of good, but he's also down a lot of supply. Yes, a lot of the Zerglings survived. Not a single Roach went down, I believe, so I don't think Solar is too upset with the amount of damage he took there. Quick Infestation Pit on Solar's side makes me wonder, is there a world where he starts building Swarm Host here? I'd be surprised. Ling Roach Swarm Host can also just be for a quick hive, obviously, but I wonder, guys, could this be Swarm Host? As we drop the Hydra, then it is most likely not going to be Swarm Host. We'll most likely just fire up a hive as quickly as possible. Once he's got hive tech, he can build Vipers, he can morph, or he can get strong lurkers. You don't need hive tech to build lurkers, you don't need hive tech to get the lurker upgrades. Adaptive talents and seismic spines. Who's observing the game? We don't actually know his name. We just call him the WTL observer. For WTL Code S, they have 2 observers because they do the picture-in-picture thing. For Masters Coliseum, they work only with a single observer, because we have not seen a single picture-in-picture yet. And there were plenty of moments where we could have done it. Stalkers and sentries are gonna reveal themselves on creep, on the edge of creep. Couple force fields go down immediately. It's right before blink, but blink is done now. Save your sentries, obviously. Nice pickup micro here by Trigger. I don't think this is all that scary. I don't see an observer with this army either. I mean, we cannot really attack here without an ops. You need an ops to take care of the creep. Did not make a single oracle in this game. I don't even know if we have... Okay, there's the observer, by the way. I don't think we've seen the main base of Solar in quite some time, so I don't think he knows how quickly that hive is. Don't think he knows about the Hydra then either. Last time that these two played against each other, we had a lot of Lynx, Roaches and Ravagers run to the other side of the map on Alcyone. And Trigger did kind of predict a lot of aggression, but it happened. Solar was very committed with an attack, but he got the job done. This time around, Solar is flipping the script. Maybe making Trigger worry about crazy aggression. But what it actually is very greedy. A very greedy Zerg style. What does the 08 stand for? What happened in the previous 7 RotterdaMs? I don't like to talk about it, mate, but they all died. I'm the last survivor of the RotterdaMs. Oh, 08. I just like 8. 8 is my favorite number. Reynor, my favorite football team, was founded in 1908. Ah, War Prism dies. That's not good. Stalkers do get on top of a couple of queens, but losing the Prism like that is not great. So, and I'm also born on the 8th of May. So that's why 08. I had to put some numbers behind my nickname because obviously the nickname RotterdaM is already taken on like every single website ever. RotterdaM 08 is a little more unique. We have a lot of Zerg units now running to the other side of the map. Losing the War Prism, by the way, guys, is problematic here as well, because now you can't pick up your Colossus if they get in trouble. The lurker count is already pretty high. Seismic Spines is done. I'm not really feeling this for Trigger. Does pick off maybe one of these lurkers here. Gets a second lurker. With a forward blink, he gets a Viper too, so that's great Stalker movement. But is it enough? Can the... Hey, maybe the Void Ray. Can the Void Ray just get on top of the lurkers? Come on, where's the Observer? Why don't we have an Ops? Ay, ay, ay. There's actually nothing that can kill the Void Ray here other than Corrosive Ball. 17 probes have already died. Make it 25. I'm afraid the Triggers is taking way too much damage here. The Void Ray dies as well to the Ravages. That Observer was out of position, guys. Would have been nice to have it there immediately. Maybe he could have put some pressure on the lurkers, but it is Solar with a 10-minute and 40-second game. Gets the 1-0 lead. Very convincing. Things did not work out for Trigger. The Adept's opening wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And losing the War Prism was painful. And just overall not being aware of how quick that hive was, how quick the lurkers were going to show up. It's not quite what happened, Mr. Doobie, but sure, we can roll with it. Convincing 1-0 lead for Solar. Solar is obviously a very good ZVP player. Trigger having a tough time so far in the Masters Coliseum. Did qualify, so he did not get invited. He made his way through the American qualifier. He defeated Australia in the final round of that tournament. Was a big win for the man from Basilisk. But obviously in Masters Coliseum it's never going to be easy. Played against Cure in the opening round, went 0-2. And is now 0-1 against Solar. Haven't really seen Trigger play that exact style too many times, where it's only a Void Ray, so no Oracles, just a Void Ray into Mass Adept. I think it would have been maybe better on a slightly smaller map. Oceanborn just feels so freaking large to me. It takes so long for the Adepts to get to the other side of the map. Solar had pretty good defense against it. Let's hope that Game 2 gives us a little more fireworks, as Game 2 is going to be on a slightly tinier map, Site Delta. Obviously all the maps are rather large in this day and age, but Oceanborn feels very large to me. We don't have any Steps of War or Arena, but they will probably indeed reveal who plays who. So don't leave immediately, guys, after the final GG. If you guys stick around for a couple of seconds, we should be able to see who's going to play who. Obviously, there is only a couple of options for the upper bracket, but we'll talk about that soon. Top left side, the Canadian Protoss down 0-1, looking for his first map win in the tournament. It is BASILISK Trigger against this man, bottom right side, one of the best Zergs to ever do it, Onsyde Gaming Solar. So there's only 4 players that are 2-0 in this tournament. Those 4 players are Maru, Hero, MaxPax, and is it Dark? Right? Is Dark 2-0? Or am I messing things up? 2 Protoss, Maru and Dark. So it could be Dark Maru and then could be MaxPax Hero. Can also be MaxPax Maru, Hero Dark. So no Monday night tonight. No, the Monday night weekly got moved to Thursday. I said Tuesday yesterday, but I was wrong. It got moved to Thursday. Did you start your esports company? I'm not sure what you're asking me. I don't have an esports company. I am a self-employed man, but guess we can call it a company, guys. The Roddy Streaming and Casting Company. Are the server issues fixed? I don't believe it's fixed yet, but I do think it's going to be fixed later today. Yesterday was a national holiday in America, Martin Luther King Day, so people didn't work. And obviously if nobody is working in Irvine, California, then it won't get fixed. Thank you guys all for stopping by this morning and being kind, sweet, polite. I feel like we had a fun morning, couple of nice ladder games into 4 more best of 3s, and we're gonna do it all over again tomorrow. And we should figure out who is playing who after this video game or the next one. Yep, 3 Koreans and MaxPax. MaxPax is our European hope. 8 players in the end will advance into the playoffs. And I definitely expect more than just MaxPax from Europe to make it. I think it could be a perfect 4-4. I think a perfect 4-4 split is possible, right? Reynor, Clem, Serral, MaxPax against 4 Koreans. Maybe a Chinese player as well. Maybe Oliveira can bring it back. Maybe Firefly can sneak into the playoffs. Adapts into Stargate is once more the name of the game here for the man that is representing Basilisk. Don't think he's gonna go for the same build again. That was probably a one-off. Could open Void Ray, but if we open Void Ray, it probably will have an Oracle follow-up. But I think it's gonna be Oracles from the get-go, and it will be an Oracle first this time around. Let's hope for Trigger that he can find some success with these Adapts and with these Oracles. Solar took a lot of damage from the openings of Classic, so... And Classic is great, but so is Trigger. And let's hope that Trigger can find some success as well. Nope, Rydick, I have not. Second Oracle is in production. I mean, we do have our Strange Zerg, Denver. Denver said that a long time ago when MaxPax was streaming that he did use a webcam. And I do remember watching MaxPax's stream a long time ago, but I honestly do not remember if he ever had a webcam or not. When people asked Denver how MaxPax looked, Denver said like a regular dude. So either Denver was dreaming or he did really see him, but I don't remember if I ever saw it or not. If I did see it, it was nothing out of the ordinary because I don't remember. MaxPax indeed won 5 times in a row against Maru. Alright, Trigger, this is it, mate. This is where we want to find some success with them Adapts or with them Oracles. Unfortunately, it is just the Oracles for now. And if it's only the Oracles that Sola needs to worry about, it is unlikely that the Queens are going to be in the wrong position. The main reason why players like Classic and MaxPax find a lot of success is because they are right on the edge of creep. And they make it so damn difficult for Zergs to figure out where the Lings have to be, where the Queens have to be. This is not the right way to fly in. Like, Solar is having all the right calls so far because he's obviously a very quick player. And I do think Trigger is quick as well, but maybe just not quite as quick as some of these best players in the world. And if you're just a little bit slower than your opponent, you give your opponent those extra seconds to put the queens in the right spot. And make it easy. Double Oracle is gonna fly in to the triangle and get a single drone. It's something, but it's not a whole lot. We have a Stalker denying the Overlord Scout in the main, but I do think the Overlord is going to see everything it needs to see. First upgrade out of the Twilight Council is Charge, so maybe Trigger trying to find some magic with Archons and Zealots with +1. The way that MaxPax found magic on this map against the Roaches of Ragnarok, but that was a very different game. That game started off with a Hatchery block, a Resonating Glaive follow-up, and then Archon harassment, so you cannot compare the two games. Solar move commanding the queens underneath the Oracle. Does not attack them from far away. Well done there by Solar, guys. Also distracting Trigger. Yeah, Trigger a little bit slow to respond there. Kudos to Solar though. If he would have just shot at those Oracles immediately, then you push the Oracles away. And your opponent gets an alert that it's happening. Solar knows that, so he right clicks underneath the Oracle to make sure he gets maximum amount of shots off. And he kills the Oracle. Well done, another victory for Solar, and this is not looking very good for Trigger, guys. Cannot find the damage he's looking for, taking damage, losing important units. It is not bad what the man from Basilisk is showing us here, but I'm afraid that it's also not good enough. A Revelation lands on a lot of the Roaches. I think Trigger should realize that this is not a fight he wants to take, even without Roach speed finishing up. That is done now. We're gonna go double Immortal. We don't have a Robo Bay yet, so 2 robotics facilities are gonna crank out as many Immortals and War Prisms and Observers as possible. We mentioned the Swarmos in Game 1. We didn't get to see any Swarmos. We do get to see Swarmos here in Game 2. Kind of fun. Been a little while. Well, Clinging Leaf. Be impressive if Life has legally changed his name to Max and a Danish surname and speaks Danish. So, if you guys actually believe that Life left South Korea, moved to Denmark, learned perfect Danish, and changed his name into a Danish name, then sure, that is a possibility. If you don't believe in that, it's probably not happening. There's always a chance, guys. It's not very likely. Solar is maxed out, and this is where he's obviously going to ramp up the aggression. We have Roaches, Ravages, and a couple of Lynx attacking the 4th base of Trigger. And we have a whole bunch of Swarmos working on the cannons and batteries at the triangle. The longer that Trigger doesn't take crazy economic damage though, guys, the bigger that Archon, Zealot, Immortal army becomes. I wouldn't hate Blink on the production tab. I actually think it's very nice to have Blink Stalkers here. You cannot Google Translate quickly enough to have a fluent conversation in Danish, mate. 6 Archons, triple Immortal. If they can just battle the Roaches, they're gonna have the time of their life. But it's not going to just be the Roaches. It's going to be Ravages. It's going to be Locusts. Not bad so far though by Trigger, guys. I don't hate what we are seeing, because he has still only lost 3 probes. This actually is a very nice fight for these Archons and the Immortals. Now the Archons are very low on HP. It would be awesome if you could drop them near that battery and activate battery overcharge. Trigger is still down 60 supply. So far I would say so good, as he's gonna get a couple of extra cannons and batteries. Solar is doing all of this of 65 drones. The identity is not hidden to the tournament organizers, and on top of that, we are not stupid, mate. It's very obvious when somebody is cheating or not. And it's very obvious that MaxPax ain't cheating. It's very easy to spot cheaters in StarCraft 2. The Roaches, Ravages, and Locusts are here as 7 probes do end up dying. A lot of the Immortals are still alive, but it is just Immortals. Every single Archon, unfortunately, has died. Trigger kept them alive for a little while, but there was no way to heal them. And shield batteries, they were not there anymore. think Solar is looking pretty damn good here in game 2 as well. Unfortunately, it's turning into a little bit of a one-sided series. 7 Immortals will do their thing, but the next wave of Locusts is going to be super problematic because Immortals are not great against Locusts. On top of that, we're going to have Hydras as follow-up, we're going to have Lurkers as follow-up. I'm afraid that this game is close to ending. Here come all the Locusts on top of the Immortals. Solar is going to get his first W, as he will improve his record to 1-1. Unfortunately for Trigger, he is going to join the 3 Terran players, Bjorn, Olivera and Bunny, as being 0-2. Means that he has a PvT to prepare for, and we should figure out real soon who he's going to play. It was indeed not very close. I'm sad. It looked a little bit promising at one point when we had like 6 Archons, 3-4 Immortals, and they were just shooting at the Roaches and the Ravages, but Battery Overcharge was probably on cooldown and he couldn't use Battery Overcharge to heal up all these Archons. So he did a great job in keeping so many of them alive, but yeah, 10 HP Archons don't do anything for you, right? They will just die the moment they are forced to fight. And then if one dies, all of them die. And when you only have a couple of Immortals left, it is just not good enough against the Locusts, the Lynx, the Ravages, now the Lurkers too. Solar looked dominant today. It's a sad conclusion for all the Basilisk fans and for the Trigger fans. But he has one more shot to make something of this tournament against either Bjorn, Olivera or Bunny. And we are about to find out who he is going to play. GG gets called. Solar does get the 2-0 victory. Strong bounce back for Solar after losing to Classic in his opening series. And that will do it for the entire second round of this Swiss format. All players have now played 2 best of 3s. And we are about to find out who is going to play who. Pay attention, guys. I'll settle that prediction for you. Solar 2-0 is the correct outcome. And I think we're about to find out who is going to play who. Will it be Maru versus Max Pax? Will it be Maru Hero? Or is it going to be Maru versus Dark? Also very curious who's going to play who between the players that are 1-1. Could be Reynor against Clem, perhaps, guys? Serral is 1-1, so it could also be Serral against Clem, right? Because Serral played Reynor. So it could be Reynor Clem or it could be Serral Clem. It's actually very likely it is going to be one of those two. Can also be Serral against Firefly. Or Reynor against Firefly. I'm hoping for Max Pax Maru. It's been a while since Maru has defeated Max Pax, so I would love to see if he can turn things around in that regard. No more games, but we are about to find out who is going to play who, and that's pretty damn exciting. Thank all of you guys for tuning in today. We had a couple of subs and a lot of resubs, a lot of nice messages. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back tomorrow, as I think tomorrow we'll have another day of Masters Coliseum. Let me double check that. But I believe that we just continue going. Yep, January 7th, same time, same place, guys. So 12 p.m. Is it 12 p.m. or 12 a.m.? It's 12 p.m., right? 11:59 a.m. European time, 6 a.m. on the East Coast, 3 a.m. on the West Coast, and 1 a.m. Let's see who plays who. It is Max Pax versus Hero. It is Maru versus Dark. Pay attention here, guys. It is Clem versus Shin, aka Ragnarok. It is Serral Solar. Firefly versus Reynor. Classic versus Cure. And Olivera will play Bunny. And Trigger is going to play Beyond. So these are all the matches that we can look forward to. Max Pax Hero, Maru Dark. Guarantees a Protoss in the quarterfinals of this tournament, by the way, guys. Clem, Ragnarok, Serral Solar, Classic versus Cure. Serral Solar is obviously a match with a lot of history too. I think Reynor can't complain here. Reynor versus Firefly. I saw Reynor stream yesterday. I think he played 17 ZVPs in a row, so he should be ready. Awesome. These are the matches that we have tomorrow, apparently. Tomorrow only lower bracket, guys. So no upper bracket tomorrow. Well, we have middle bracket and lower bracket. Serral Solar, first series of tomorrow. So make sure you don't show up late, because you're going to miss an awesome ZVZ. Classic versus Cure is going to be our second match. Third match will be Trigger versus Beyond. And the final match... Oh, wait, that is upper bracket. Final match of the day is Maru against Dark. So that's a bit weird. So we have a 1-1, 1-1, 0-2, and then 2-0. Yeah, it has everything. A little bit of everything tomorrow, guys. Middle bracket, lower bracket, upper bracket. And that will do it for today's broadcast. I hope you guys had fun. I am going to go ahead and wrap it up, as Tuesday is the day that I have to do matchmaking for my Friday night event. Every single Friday, we run the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts. $500 are on the line. Since Naniwa's in the chat, you want to play on Friday, Naniwa? I think it's time, mate. People keep on asking, when do we get to see Naniwa? Naniwa in the Big Brain Bouts, guys. Do we believe that A, he will behave well, and B, is it his time?